Well, I said I was going to start back. Found a new project. This is the beginning of my top. So I'm making a twin set. We'll see how that go though. I might stop at the top and call it a day. I don't know. May not even finish it. You know how that goes. I try to complete what I start nowadays. And I have. I follow through for every project I've begun. So we're gonna make sure to definitely try to finish. So this yarn that I'm using, Bernat Softy Cotton, and this is a number 3, which is a DK weight. So it's on the fine side. These needles, this is a number 2 needle. It's the second smallest needle. So if I sound apprehensive in the beginning, that's the reason why. Because it is a very small needle. It's a very small stitch. So for me to get the inches to actually complete it, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of rows. And let's say it this way. In the very beginning, when I started off, I don't know if I can visually find it, but in my 2x2 ribbing, I screwed up something fierce. I had my stitch count perfect when I cast on. And then when I did my first 2x2 row, I don't know how, but I ended up getting another stitch. And then I had to correct that in the next round, which I should have just undid it, but I didn't like the way the yarn was looking already. Like, if I take it down, it's going to be really a mess. So I'm like, oh, no, I can fix this. And then somehow I dropped a stitch in a couple more rows, and it's been a hot ass damn mess. I've been good for the past, I have no idea how many damn rows this is now. Well, 10 rows or so. I don't think I've made any mistakes. But the beginning was rough. But now we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. So, it's not anything that requires a whole bunch of concentration, but considering I haven't been knitting as much the last few weeks or whatever, and I haven't done a 2x2 ribbon forever, it did take me a second to get back into the rhythm of doing 2x2, and I found myself just being off, like, what the hell? Or it could be COVID because I can't concentrate. I don't know. So at any rate, this is all I'm doing. Purl 2, and then knit 2. Purl 2. And then knit 2. Now once it starts getting a little bit of weight, it becomes a little bit more challenging to handle. Oh, you probably can't see what I'm doing, huh? This looks really weird. So you can imagine if it's taking me this long just to do this, how long it's going to take for me to finish this whole thing. Once I get to doing stockinette, that'll help because that goes a whole lot faster than this. Because I have to constantly yarn forward, yarn back. You know, every time you go to do a knit, you got to make sure the yarn is in the back. Every time you're getting ready to do a purl, you have to make sure the yarn is in the front. So that's how you prevent having stupid little mistakes like extra added stitches and stuff like that by having the yarn in the correct position. Because if you don't, you will unknowingly make a mistake. And that might have been what I did. I don't know, because I was not paying attention. So I'm just glad I got my stuff together now. It just took me a few rows. So I'm trying. And I don't know how long I got to do this. I think it's supposed to be 6 inches. So once I achieve 6 inches of length on the ribbing, that's when I move into the regular stitch of the body. Now see, the top itself is not that complicated. It's just rib stitch and stockinette. The cardigan that goes with it has cabling. So that's where it gets a little bit trickier because you have to have, well, you don't have to have cable needles. You can use spare yarn and put them on hold. You know, that's all up to you. But you have to take those stitches and put them on hold, and then, you know, the next stitch or whatever, then you cross them and then stitch over it. I don't even know how to explain that mess. It's weird. I can do it, but without instruction, I can't. I haven't played around with it enough. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing that part because that's going to be challenging. But I think I can get this top at least. The difference is, of course, this is a solid color. The pattern that I picked, the yarn itself is like a self-striping. So it's got like a gradient color to it. And the way it looks on the actual garment, it's got a nice variation of color. So it's not really stripes per se, but it looks really nice. It's not just plain one color. So since I've got solid, because I could not find anything that had a variant of color that was in this weight, this is the most important part. Sometimes the material is the most important part, but I don't think so in this case. This is a cotton acrylic blend. Um, in that particular pattern, she's using, I believe, I think it's alpaca. And while that's nice and all, that's more so, I think, for for cold weather. And we're heading into spring, so I'm looking for this to be a warm weather sweater. That's why too not really extremely pressed about making the cardigan, even though I do want to make it. But by the time I finish, I'm not gonna need it. And I'm sure as heck not gonna wear it. Cause if anybody know me now, know that mommy goes through her little hot flashes, and I'm not gonna be sitting up here sweating to death, trying to be cute. No, 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 no. I still do want to make it. And once the cool weather hits again, then I'll be able to wear that cardigan. And by the time I finish, I'm quite sure the weather will be appropriate. Because I'm not expecting to be done anytime soon. Here it is, what? April. Yeah. I don't think I will be done, so not stressing. So, if you're seeing how slow I'm going here, you can kind of understand this is not something that's going to just go in a couple minutes. Even if I do zone out and just, let the needles talk to themselves. That's what I call it when you hear the needles clinking. Or all you hear is ch-ch-ch-ch. Hear this? Yeah. It's kind of hard for me to do that rhythmically. Sometimes I can, but I had to really zone out. Oof, my back. See, it's hot and I'm sweating and I'm starting to itch. This is why you would not catch me wearing a daggone cardigan right now. In fact, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the length of the sleeves. Because in the pattern, the sleeves are completely long. In fact, they're not just to the wrist. They come all the way past her wrist, like around here. So, while that's cute, here I go. I love that look. I do. And whenever I wanted to have that look, I never could get it. Now I have that option to make it myself the way that I want it. But am I going to sit up and make some long ass sleeves like that? No, no, no. So, what I'm going to focus on right now is at least just getting the top done, which is going to be pretty much what? Mainly two pieces. You got the front and the back. And I think, I'm not sure because I'm not looking at the pattern directly. I did read it through, but I don't remember it at all. But usually the basic construction is you do the front, and then you do the armhole shape, which is a decrease once you get somewhere around here. And then you continue up to the shoulder. And once you get to the shoulder, that's where you start to end it. And then you start working on the back, which is usually going to be one straight piece going all the way up. And you're still going to have those little armholes. So you do the armhole once you get to the same spot. And then you work your way up to the shoulder again. Or sometimes you don't. It depends on how it's cut. Sometimes they don't have an armhole in the back. But, yeah. I don't think that this particular pattern has any type of shaping for the bust. Now, considering that I am definitely not a flat-chested girl, I'm going to have to look at that seriously before I get there, because I might have to make some type of adjustment, because I'm going by the biggest size that they have listed. And that was purely based off of my bust measurement. And once I get to that point, I want to make sure